Then you must teach my daughter this same lesson: how to lose your innocence, but not your hope. How to laugh forever. Page 213, The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. In The Joy Luck Club, there is not a single protagonist. This is because the novel is about 4 mothers and daughters in the city of San Francisco. In order to keep this as short as possible, I will detail each of the daughters' lives briefly and discuss how they are all related. The protagonists in a list of occurrences are Waverly Zhang, Lena St. Clair, Rose Su, and Jing Mei Wu. Each protagonist named, as previously stated, is the daughter of a Chinese immigrant mother. Each of the girls' immediate families, father, mother, and occasionally aunts, uncles, and grandparents live in San Francisco, California. Each of the girls' mothers also belonged to the First Chinese Baptist Church. This is how they got to know each other, because these were their father's first friends in the United States. And they would come together to play mahjong, eat and drink well, and whisper secrets in Mandarin. Each of the girls struggle in finding their identity, as they are constantly reminded by their mothers and the world around them that they, the mothers, see their own daughters just as ignorant, just as unmindful of all the truths and hopes that they have brought to America. Each of these daughters, in their lifetime, goes through a journey of their identity and how their mother's wishes and Chinese heritage influence their identity. This quote is found from page 6 of The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. A highlight of the book would be when Jing Mei's mother reveals that the story she has been telling Jing Mei since birth, detailing her life, is still true, but her husband and the children she discusses and her mom details are not Jing Mei and her father, but the children her mother left in Shanghai during the war. Your father is not my first husband. You were not those babies. Page 26, The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. A second highlight of the book is the chapter Half and Half, where Rose Su's husband asks for a divorce. In this portion of Su's adult life, and her later divorced husband have made a decision against the Southeastern Asian tradition of both of their parents and opted to get married. The marriage ends quickly, with the husband bursting aloud, "How the hell did we ever get married? Did you just say I do because the minister said repeat after me?" on page 20. This alludes to her indecisiveness in the marriage, possibly brought on by her constantly seeking the approval of her mother. A third point of interest is page 277 of the Joy Luck Club, where Jing Mei details her anticipation to begin the immersion into Chinese culture upon her arrival of her trip, with the quote, "I peer out at what looks like a grander version of the Hyatt Regency. This is communist China?" I wonder aloud. The first literary device I've listed is on page 30, where she is stuffing wonton, one chopstick jab of gingery meat dabbed onto a thin stick. The mothers describe Jing Mei's mother as she sits at the mahjong table. This is a metaphor for her being simply unpalatable as far as her personality and quite assertive, meaning that her body, the wonton, is stuffed with the gingery meat, which is her personality. A second literary device can be found on page 34, which is an idiom. She says, "I was chisle." She says, "Still fuming. Mad to death." Mad to death is the idiom here, because being mad can't bring you to death, but it is a common idiom used in the English language. A third use of a literary device can be found on page 98, where a simile is used, stating, "I would swing my patent leather shoes back and forth like an impatient child riding on a school bus." This act of swinging shoes is something that for many can relieve stress, such like a child who is impatient or anxious about an upcoming day at school. A second simile can be found on page 163, stating, "She has become so thin now you cannot see her," says my mother. "She is like a ghost. Disappear." Many allusions are made to people being ghosts, where the daughter then goes on to state that people being referenced to as ghosts in the Chinese culture is saying that they have brought great dishonor upon the family and that they are to be forgotten for whatever the reason, much like a ghost. The fifth use of a literary device can be found on page 252 of the Joy Luck Club, stating, "I will use this pain to penetrate my daughter's tough skin and cut her tiger spirit loose." This is a metaphor in many ways. So, firstly, the mother says that she will somehow penetrate her daughter's tough skin meaning that she is bold, she does not think of others' actions, and she is confident in doing what she feels is right. So, by penetrating her, she is cutting her tiger spirit, which is, as previously stated, her fierceness, her boldness, her assertiveness. And her mother wants to get rid of this because it goes against much of what Chinese tradition is in following and respecting your parents' beliefs and ideals and what they feel is best for you. Overall, I found this book to be quite the read. I adore the book, like many others, because of its ability to portray the complexity of a lifelong relationship between multiple mothers and daughters in only 288 pages. The author used a great deal of skill to develop the characters. The American-born daughters were often portrayed as brash, cocky, and assertive, yet still in a way that you sympathize with them and their traditional Chinese-born immigrant mothers. Furthermore, I appreciated it for its powerful message of forgiving and understanding that maintains the reader's attention with jaw-dropping scenes of frustration and secrets being revealed. How can mothers and daughters create meaningful relationships without unattainable expectations? How can first-generation Americans carry the culture of their family, yet still identify with their country of birth? And just how can family secrets uncover more truths and bring people closer together?